Hi, I'm Litvarski and I want to show you the customized operating system called AmiKit on my Vampire Standalone. The AmiKit is a customized operating system which can work under an Amiga 500, 600, 1200 or even 1000, where you have an accelerator card from the Vampire accelerator card. Or like in my case, you can have this Vampire Standalone. So I'm not going to go into the installation instructions because there is a quick start guide which is very well done in my opinion. That it has all the steps you need to install the AmiKit. So I'm just going straight to a working AmiKit and show you how it works. So let's go. So here we are. This is what your AmiKit looks like when you open it for the first time. After it has been installed, there's an installation procedure first, but this is what the workbench looks like. If you don't take into mind that it's usually the desktop is blue, but that's the only difference in here. I prefer this black desktop. So this is built on OS 3.1.4.1. You can choose to have your own OS of choice. So you can choose any 3.1, 3.5, 3.9 or this 3.1.4. But let's have a look just at the HD Toolbox first. So here I have chosen a 3 GB drive for AmiKit. So AmiKit fills about 700 megabytes of this first partition, but it's better to have some more space for it. And then I have this another partition which doesn't show now because I have to reboot, but it's about 28 gigabytes. And it's named storage, or I chose the name of. So this standalone is not the most stable device. It really has this crashing going on. At least now when I chose this. I have Core 7383 at the moment because this allows me to have a better resolution for this AmiKit. The newest core at this point doesn't support very high resolutions, only 960 to 540 I think, and it doesn't make AmiKit look very good in my opinion. But the newest core should appear this month, and that should support this resolution which I have now, which is 720p. So it's 1280 times 720, and this is very nice looking. Enough space for windows and such. But yeah, first let's have a look at the is this a system manager, Dracula. So here you can choose IDE speed for your CF card, if you have a CF card. Just at least standalone we have the CF card. Then you have the SD speed for the SD card. Then here's the core support. Well, yeah, I have chosen 7383 because this is the core I have chosen for my Vampire at this moment. But this AmiKit could support newer cores, but that's then you have to install support files for a different core, and then I'm not sure if it will work with this core anymore. So we're not doing that. Then we can choose to have turtle mode from here. This is for having old games work better. Then you have board info. Here you can see information about the chip memory, fast memory, slow memory, and the chips, CPU, FPU, and such. And then the serial number, I think this doesn't work because I have updated the core after receiving the Vampire. I understood that this makes it impossible to use the serial number. So it just shows a list of zeros. Then there's this visuals where you can choose this desktop to be blue, or what does this look like? Oh, there's not this. Is this a panther or whatever? Green light, and dark mode, which I have. Then you can have your custom desktop also. I haven't tried that yet. Then you have network. Here I have that my Vampire connects on boot, and it gets the time from the internet. So this is correct, this time here. Wi-Fi, I understood that standalone does not have Wi-Fi possibility. But if you have a V2 card and you can have a, for example, in a 1200 you can have a PCMCIA card which you can use to have Wi-Fi. Then you could use this Wi-Fi setup. Then here's the live update. Let's close this. So this live update happens every time you boot. The AmiKit tests or checks if there are updates. So if you install 11.3, then you're going to get 11.4 here, and then updates for that one. So 11.4.2 at the moment. I have installed those, so they don't appear anymore. And this happens every boot, so it's very simple to download and let the computer handle the whole procedure. Then there are some additional downloads also. They're all downloaded. Then in the system, here's the time sync. So it's defaulted to no time sync, so there's no time sync. But I use internet sync because my Vampire is connected to my router all the time. So it's very handy to just check the internet for the time. And then you could have an real-time clock module on your Vampire, and then you could use this RTC chip sync. desktop. Yeah, this is the desktop is this is actually not Workbench, but a Workbench replacement called Directory Opus Magellan. Here we can see that these are not the. This doesn't look exactly like Workbench, so because it's Directory Opus 5, or actually 5.82 Magellan 2. So this is a Workbench replacement. Works pretty much like Workbench, but has some additional improvements or other stuff like that. Scalos is another Workbench replacement, and then you can have the original Workbench also. So I haven't checked these out very much. Just noticed that this toolbar is only on this Directory Opus version. So if you choose Scalos, then you have to use these. Find your programs from here, this AmiKit drive directly, and same with the Workbench. So this is meant to be used the Directory Opus. And there's MUI settings. There's this. So there's MUI 5, and then there's this older MUI 3.8. 3.8. I don't know what it does actually. Light mode would be that some programs in the beginning don't start. Some kind of light mode. I haven't checked this out actually. Then in the startup manager there are lots of different programs in the startup sequence, which you can here choose whether to have these or not have these at startup. And these maybe they are documented, but let's check full palette, for example. The full palette allows you to set your own color panes. And SCSI Quicker. SCSI Quicker might improve IDE performance. So this sounds like it's better to have SCSI Quicker. But it's actually, no, SCSI Quicker is not enabled. So that's all. Yeah, that's all about Dracula. Then you have this. Right click this, so it doesn't. Right clicking and left clicking have different. They do different things here. So right clicking the magnifying glass gives you this error message, but left clicking it gives you the simple find. So for example, if you have trouble finding sysinfo, you can search sys for sysinfo, and it quite quickly finds it from AmiKit and utilities. Then you have shell from left clicking this, and from right clicking you have CLI, Directory Opus CLI. They are pretty same. Left clicking this one opens this. This opens this text program called microcoded. Here you can save different kinds of texts. right clicking it opens Reddit. So here I have two choices with this button. Then you have FTP. This connects to FTP AmiNet.net. So let's see. Okay, so here we can download Pacomix 2, for example. This happens, but this is a lister. This is not a usual window. So here you have a different buttons, and what you can do is copy these two files to the clipboard by having this button, and then we actually press the right button here to have open the downloads window folder. And here this was copy, this was cut, this is paste. We press paste. Didn't work. Let's try again. So you have to double click this one to make it download. Now I don't notice where did it put it. I'm going to copy this and then make it another bug, or what do you call those? Here we paste it. No, that didn't work very well. Well, anyway, let's go on forward. So here we have another button which opens lots of different choices for us. So here let's go through some of these. So help files gives you, well, a lot of help files. Let's take English here, and here we can see there are lots of programs and their help files. So for example, VHD load and magic menu and Snoop does and etc. And they are also in different languages, so if you want to check other languages, you can do that. Copy icon, that's pretty handy actually. So we can use this button to show either text or icons. And here I want to have this icon to be here instead of this drawer icon. So I put this one here, and then I drag this this one here. And now it has changed like this. That's quite easy if you want to, easy to use that program if you want to copy an icon. Icon editor didn't work for me for some reason. Yeah, there was this assign problem. Then the calculator, this no, it's a calculator. Lib history. DG converter. So this is quite handy for one thing, actually. Oh. So here you can put any number here and it will show this number in hexadecimal and binary. And also in characters. So if, for example, you use a Swedish keyboard like I do, I'm Finnish by the way, not Swedish, but I use the same keyboard. So if you want to have this @ symbol, you can here put decimal 64, and it comes here this @ symbol, and then you can 64 here, and then you can copy this. And if you want to use some email client, for example, there are two email clients, Simple Mail and Yam. So if you want to use those, you can then use this. Reddit has this paste. Yeah. So you can paste this @ symbol if you cannot find it on your keyboard. Then there's this join splitter, which is a joining and splitting program. Splits files and joins them. Lupe is quite strange. I don't know what to do with it, but it shows this place where the mouse icon is, and you can you can copy any color from some icon, for example, and then you can also wrong button. You can take the crosshair off and you can fix this like this by pressing Amiga and D. Then you press Amiga D again, and then it starts to follow the mouse icon again. So that's quite nifty. I don't really know where to use it though. Multiview is the program which you can use to open almost any kind of file on Amiga. So it chooses the correct program to open the file. Quick Sketch is, well, this is this kind of sketch. Clear all graphics, and here you can sketch anything. That was terrible. Then there is also Dropbox and Google Drive, they both work pretty much the same. Google Drive seemed a little bit faster though. So you click the Google Drive there, then it opens two lists for some reason. You can close this and then you can see my Google Drive. I have just one file over there. And here the copy paste works. So you can copy this MP3 and then paste it to RAM disk. And then you can, by double clicking, you can open this file with I guess it's chooses Amiga amp. Dropbox works exactly in the same way, but you have to take care that if you use the Google Drive or Dropbox and you have opened these on your machine, Vampire machine, Amiga machine, then if you use your PC or whatever you use for uploading files to your Google Drive or Dropbox, then this Amiga doesn't update the list, so you have to reboot to make the new files visible. So you should first upload the files you want to transfer to Amiga. So first upload the files on Google Drive and then open the Google Drive on Amiga, not the other way around. Then here's Mount SD, which can also be found here. Essentials, Mount SD cartridge. This does the same thing, so it mounts the SD card. Then you can see what's inside your SD card. For system tools, then let's see, Emaps. Well, here's commodities you have. So for example, click to front makes if you have two windows, the other one is behind the other window, you can make it to come front by double clicking it. So anywhere it click to front makes that possible. No caps lock seems quite obvious. Shell you have here. Show patches. Snoopdos. Snoopdos is the program which monitors system activity. Sys Inspector has different tasks, processes here. So this is a bit like Task Manager in the PC world. HD Toolbox I already showed. Then you can edit your startup sequence, user startup, or you can edit these. You open this file by from there. The VB startup, you have this kind of prefs window where you can choose which programs you start at VB startup and which not. So for example, here we can see that TimeSync opens very soon. Then there's AmiKit, then this kind of rec attack, whatever it is. Freewheel is for having the third button or the wheel on your mouse. On my mouse it doesn't work because it's incompatible mouse. But otherwise it works fine. And at the bottom we see this live update, so it's the last thing AmiKit does in the startup. So it checks the update situation if there is some update to have. Oh yeah, I didn't go through this. This one is some cache list. Then here we have different apps. So we have a Spectrum, which is a ZX Spectrum emulator. Directory Opus 4, which is this file manager. And this is quite modified, so you have this LHA add and LHA extract and for other files also. So this is very easy to use now when it's already modified to have these different options here. Then Home Bank is some kind of banking program. MUI Maparium is quite interesting. So this goes to the internet, and here you can see the map of Berlin. And if you want to see my hometown, then you can see it by writing Jyväskylä, and here you can see the map of Jyväskylä. You can zoom in or out. Quite nice. Multiren is some renaming program. I don't know what is the point of that one, but sysinfo unfortunately does not work on this standalone. I did check that it's not the problem of the Vampire standalone, because sysinfo works on when you start it from this Coffin operating system. But here this gives you this kind of screen. You can exit if you know the button for quitting. It's just right here. So that's unfortunately not working. At the moment at least. Frankman, Make CD, Virtual CD. These are CD programs and I haven't been able to test them. Audio, here there are many programs for listening music. For example, Amiga amp can play MP3 music. And then you have AmiNet radio, which is quite interesting. So here you can listen to any internet radio. Snoop just left. Open. So here you can listen to any internet radio. So if you want to hear Commodore 64 music, then like I do, then you can listen to Slay Radio. So these are remixes of Commodore 64 music. So that is very nice. Play OGG probably plays OGG files. Then you have, for mod files, you have Delete Tracker, 2, Eagle Player, Hippo Player, and then you have a tracker program, Hively Tracker. Let's load some mod. So you have this tracker program. Infinite Module Player has the same problem as sysinfo, so the screen is very bad. Mod Explorer is quite interesting. So this is a program which gives you a mod you haven't ever heard before. At least I haven't heard this before. Then you can stop it and then take another module. It's another mod. I haven't heard about this one either. So this finds different modules on the internet and randomly plays some mod in the archive. Let's see if it also has seeds. Yes, some of those doesn't work. Yeah, it works. Then let's go to the internet programs. So you have 3 different browsers: Aweb, iBrowse and NetSurf. So Aweb looks like this, and let's see what AmiNet looks like. AmiNet works fine. Let's actually, now we can try the search for Pacomics. So from the browser the downloads are working fine. So now the Pacomics should appear in the downloads here. Right click on this button here. Okay, we have our second crash. So Pacomics 2 is a very nice game which I'm sure you haven't heard of, or I bet you haven't heard of either. Anyway, you should have heard of it because it's a very good game. It's a PD game on the AmiNet. A puzzle game where you have to collect all kinds of fruits or other stuff. But it's very much, what's the word? very deep actually. Not just a simple collect map. Okay, it's here. In the downloads. Downloads you can find also AmiKit Internet and downloads from here. So back to the program. So AWeb worked fine. Then Eyebrows, here we have a demo version of Eyebrows 3.5.3, I think. So this closes after using it for half an hour. Here we have this nice download manager, which is handy if you have some bigger files. Okay, that's downloaded. Then there's also this netserve, which opens up another window. This is the most demanding of the system, I think. Okay, it's downloading. It's a little bit slower than on the other browsers. Then can we get out of here? I'm not sure how to exit the netserve. So maybe it's best to reboot. Yeah. I bet there's a way, but I haven't checked this out. So 3 functioning browsers. You can choose your favorite. Then there are 2 email clients, Simple Mail and Yam. And unfortunately I have not been able to make either one of these work on the standalone. So I have been trying to use my Gmail account. But Simple Mail would probably work well, but it crashes on the standalone. And as I understand, the Vampire V2 is AmiKit is much more stable when you use it on Vampire V2. So there it might work. But on my standalone it doesn't work. It really crashes when you try to. When you have all the settings done, then it crashes. But not before, actually. So there's only one option to use Yam. And this I didn't get to work because has some SSL problem with Gmail. So AmiKit has AMI SSL 4.5 or 4.6. I'm not sure which one was it, but YAM doesn't recognize this AMI SSL, or this it would recognize on older AMI SSL for example 3.7, but then the problem stays the same. The SSL problem with Gmail doesn't work out that way, and then if I try to install AMI SSL 4, the problem doesn't solve, but then iBrowse doesn't work anymore. So couldn't get it working at all. So no email client for me, but if you have a V2 Vampire, maybe you can use Simple Mail. Or if you don't have Gmail but some other one, then maybe you could have YAM working also. But YAM doesn't support IMAP, only POP. So these are some protocols I don't know about, but IMAP is IMAP. I think IMAP is the better one to use, if you can. YAM doesn't support IMAP. Simple Mail does support IMAP. So then we have AMIRC. So here we can connect to the irc.abime.net. So here you can, well, this is irc. Here you have these users. You can see them here. And here you can chat away. It's really iconify. Then we have some. These are grouped in this way that you have 3 browsers here, 2 email clients here, then you have chat clients here, and these are all also in the same category between themselves. So these are pretty easy to browse. So Amiga Journal is some kind of journal program, obviously. DC Torrent, you have torrent program, remote desktop. Wait is a weather program which crashes on the standalone. Then you have some games also, freeware games. For example, Another World, which has been put here. So let's see how well this works. Yeah. It does work. What else? AmiJevelet we have. Like BitJevelet. Arkanoid clone. Deluxe Galaga and Deluxe Pac-Man. Diablo, I think it's a demo version. Doom 2, other stuff. Also we have Tyrion. So this is a shooter from DOS. This works also. Not my favorite game, but it has nice, very nice graphics. VB Steroid is a good asteroids game in Workbench. But there's no sound. Maybe I didn't post the setting. Get the settings right. So it's a very gorgeous looking Workbench game. Then there's also Scum VM. So there are the 3 different games here. And DOSBox also. So this is a port of DOSBox for the Amiga, but as you can see here from this blinking, this is blinking. What's it called? Well, anyway, this blinks very slowly. So there are some settings you can tweak and make this go faster. This DOSBox. So this blinking. From this blinking, you see this is very slow. But you can tweak the settings to make this faster. But I haven't been able to get the settings so good that it would be fast enough for playing any of these games in such a way that it would be enjoyable. So I just put exit here. I don't know the reason, because apparently this on an 060 machine this DOSBox works fine, but I haven't been able to get the settings right for this Vampire Standalone. Then here in the video you have 3 different programs in this category. Riva plays MPG files. Okay. Sound disappeared somewhere, so we should reboot. So Riva plays MPG files. And then there's other players for other files. I presume there are not many example files here. Ah, this crashed. But Riva you can use to watch MPG files. This I know. Yeah, Flash player. Oh no, doesn't look good. So this would play SWF, the XF files. I think I'd better reboot once more because this yellow flashing means that there are lots of recoverable alerts. So maybe now we get forward. Yeah, Big Show is the one where you can, well, this is one program you can use to see these PNG files. So this is a PNG file. You can zoom out. You notice that there's a small picture which looks like the desktop. Then you can take the other picture. Look at that one. So that's a PNG file. It's a program for showing PNG files. That's in video, not in picture, but yeah, the video category is for videos and pictures. Text, then here you have a PDF, which is a PDF, a program with which you can see PDF files. There's also RNO PDF. These both work here. So there's this test PDF. So here, this is a PDF file and you can one page only. And let's test the other one. Why don't? Here we have to go a PDF and test PDF. It's the same PDF. Then you have different text editors. So MicroGolded and Reddit. These are the both which you can also click from here. This was MicroGolded and this was Reddit. So AmiKit, here's the welcome to AmiKit. It opens eyebrows and you can see it here. It opens this welcome to AmiKit page, which I already showed you. Support forum for AmiKit. Toolbar help. This is quite useful because you may forget what these buttons mean. Let's put that here. Here toolbar help comes. Here. So we see that first we have this go to parent directory. The second one is cycle between name and icon view. We can rename these folders or files. Copy, cut, paste. select all, get the size of this eye, etc. So this is quite handy here. So these also have another purpose, these buttons. So you left click this and you get this procedure. But when you use middle click, then you have a different, the button works in a different way. So for example, here we middle click this one and we get to the volumes, so all available devices. Here's to show the version number and so on. Open in multi-view would be useful. And right clicking also has a different thing. And here actually you can see which button you have to choose in order to get, for example, let's see, play selected entries with Amiga AMP. So we have not here. Let's see. So there's this the music. Okay, utilities Amiga AMP MP3. Oops. Utilities Amiga AMP MP3. So bear in mind. And then we want to play this with Amiga AMP. So we have this symbol here. So it's third from the left on the bottom row. So we have to right click this button here. So we right click this one and we get to play with Amiga AMP. There's no sound for some reason. Close this one. And you can get to the Dracula from here, and also the live update is here. About is the first screen you see in the beginning. So this is 11.4 AmiKit. Actually 11.4.2, but it doesn't show in that picture. So then there's preferences, and these are pretty much the same as what you find in AmiKit and preferences. Refs. So these are really the usual things you have in your Amiga computer. So I'm not going to go over these. Utilities, you have lots of utilities here. So looks like there are not at least not many programs missing from here. Internet you have, well, yeah, there are some programs which are not appearing, or let's see. Well, these all are in here already, it seems. AWeb APL, it's AWeb. Web. Demos. There are 4 nice demos here. Oh, another crash. Four demos, and these are not VHD load demos, but just a normal HD installed demos. And games, these seem to appear also in here already. But there's, well, yeah, iGame is also here. So iGame is the front end for VHD load games and other games as well. Also, it seems to have these games inside of the iGame front end. Okay, so Lister is a window which you can open by double clicking in here or here or here. You get the idea. So these are called listers instead of windows or whatever you want to call them. Then there's also a very easy way to extract LHA files, archives, or create archives. For example, we have this Pacomics here, then we can go here and extract it. And then we get here to choose where we want it. And we get Pacomics 2 in the RAM disk. Yeah, really, this is a good game. I'm not showing it, but you need to test this. So I think that's pretty much it. So I thank you for watching and see you in another video. Thank you.